Okay, so you've just started a business, you're trying to raise finances, and you've just identified an opportunity to maybe pitch in front of investors. What should you do? What shouldn't you do? In this video today, we're going to be talking about some of the things that you should consider doing and you should try and avoid as a startup, as a co-founder, or as a founder in pitching your idea to investors. My name is Mayowa Adeosun, co-founder and chief operating officer at Sycamore. And Sycamore is a peer-to-peer lending company where we connect people with finances to those that need, essentially lenders to borrowers. All right, so first thing you're going to want to do is to know your audience. Not all audiences are the same, and everybody has somewhat of a confirmation bias, if you want to put it that way. And basically what that means is that they're looking to hear certain things from the people that are pitching in front of them, and they're more likely to be susceptible to certain ideas and concepts than others. So you need to research your audience and find out what it is that you think they want to hear. And if your idea is within that realm, then excellent, go ahead and push forward. But if it's not, you might want to just, you can still apply, you can still pitch, but, just make sure that you manage your expectations. That's the first thing. Second thing is, there isn't really necessarily a format to follow when it comes to pitching. It's just that you want to make sure that you include certain critical things around your pitch. For example, one, you need to tell a story. A story has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end. And the end should be a conclusion that relates back to the reason why you started, the beginning. So that is very important. The second thing is that you want to emphasize that you know your numbers, right? When you're pitching an idea, you're pitching an investment opportunity. And for it to be an investment opportunity, essentially you're still going to have to talk about your numbers. Your numbers might include your revenue, it might include your traction, and so on and so forth. These things matter, and you need to master those things in your pitch. All right, so thirdly, you're going to want to practice your pitch. What they say, practice makes perfect, or practice makes progress. Whichever one you want to use or choose, that's up to you. But basically, practice. This might mean just going over your pitch several times before you actually pitch that in front of investors, or it might just mean making sure that you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the story, and you're making sure that it's all familiar before you go on stage. And that would be really helpful for you, because a lot of the times these pitches are going to be limited to a certain number of minutes. So, for example, they might say you have 3 minutes or 5 minutes to pitch. And what I've seen in the past and in recent is that 5 minutes can go by very, very quickly. If you're not prepared for it, you actually find yourself, in the middle of your pitch, and they're telling you have 10 seconds left. And that's the worst situation you want to be in, because you end up not getting to the information that you feel is important for the investors to listen to. So practice will help you to manage your time effectively and get to the points that you want to make. All right, the next thing that you want to consider is your pitch deck. It should be attractive. And what I mean by attractive is that it should have a lot of illustrations and a lot of things that draw people's attention to it. You want to try and resist the urge to have a lot of information and text on your pitch deck, because nobody is really going to have the time to read it. What they're going to be doing is listening to what you're saying, and then they're going to want to match that with a visualization of things on your pitch deck. Now, it depends. If your pitch deck is going to be something that you can talk through in the presentation, then yes, keep it very visual and make it just very illustrative. But if it's obviously a pitch deck that you're going to send in as a document for somebody to read, then you now have the liberty of writing a lot of text and giving context with words. So obviously, again, it depends on how you are using your pitch deck, but if you're presenting in front of an audience, keep the wordings as limited as possible and make it more illustrative and attractive to look at visually. All right, so we've talked about knowing your numbers, but I want to emphasize your financial projections. Again, this is an investment opportunity that you're presenting to investors or to listeners. And for them to buy into your idea, because at this point it really just is an idea to them, they need to be able to see that this is financially rewarding for them, because at the end of the day, people invest to make a return. So you need to be very tight and focused on your financial projections, so that way it can kind of show them what it would look like if they were to invest their money, how you would spend it, where it would go to, and what kind of returns it would give to them down the road. And I think lastly, what is also very important when it comes to pitching is your team. You have to be able to tell a story, as I mentioned earlier, but the team now is what is going to bring that story to life. So if you have a very strong team, then you need to want to make sure that you're telling them how your team fits into this story and why you are the right person and you are the right team to get this dream and this vision of yours done. So your team is going to be very essential. If you don't have people that have maybe startup experience in your team, then you're going to want to speak to their work experience and how it is relevant to what you're trying to do. So your team is very important in getting started and to making your pitch and investment opportunity a good one in front of investors. Okay, so guys, I think I'll leave it there for now. Hopefully you've learned one or two things. This really came as an inspiration as recently Sycamore just won the $100,000 prize for NSIA Innovation. And we're super proud, and it comes with a lot of different perks and benefits. But we want to also pass on this opportunity to learn and to also win your competitions and get in front of investors and take home the prize money. So I hope you've been able to learn one or two things from today's conversation, and I look forward to sharing more of this type of content with you in the future. Thank you.